Okay, let's unpack this. There's a fundamental shift happening in industry right now, and it's not just about faster machines or more efficient processes anymore. There's something deeper going on, a transformation that feels almost philosophical, and people are calling it Industry 5.0.
And what's really interesting, I think, is that it feels less like just the next step, technologically speaking, and more like a conscious course correction. Like we're recognizing that while past industrial revolutions brought amazing progress, especially Industry 4.0 with its focus on efficiency, well, maybe there were some unintended consequences, things we need to actively fix now.
That's right. We've got this really insightful report in our stack today that dives deep into exactly this shift. It lays out what Industry 5.0 is, digs into the absolutely crucial role AI plays, and then it zooms right in on a major, really tangible area where this vision is becoming reality.
Yeah.
Healthcare. The report actually calls this transformation Healthcare 2.0.
So just to set the stage, Industry 5.0 is pushing beyond just the automation and the connectivity we saw in Industry 4.0, the whole smart factory idea. The core of 5.0 is about deliberately weaving human well-being, broader societal value, and environmental sustainability right into the fabric, the purpose of industry. It's a much more holistic viewpoint.
Which is exactly why our mission for this deep dive is to really get under the hood of Industry 5.0. What defines it? Why is this shift happening now? How does artificial intelligence power this new vision? Is AI still mainly seen as a tool for replacing humans, or is there something more collaborative going on? Then, like you said, we're going deep into that healthcare piece, Healthcare 2.0, focusing specifically on how AI is just revolutionizing disease diagnosis. We'll look at the incredible speed, the accuracy AI brings, check out some really compelling real-world examples, and critically, we need to grapple with the big challenges, the ethical considerations that come with putting such powerful tech into healthcare. Finally, peek ahead, see what the future might hold.
And this is incredibly relevant for you listening right now. This isn't just some abstract policy thing. This shift touches everything. The kinds of jobs available, the products you use, the planet's health, and yeah, very personally, your own health and the kind of healthcare you might get down the line. It really affects everyone.
So let's start right there, defining Industry 5.0. You said it's more than just a tech upgrade. What really sets it apart?
Well, the sources really stress that it's a significant philosophical jump from what came before. Industry 4.0, remember, was heavily focused on automation, data exchange, creating those digitally connected smart factories using IoT, big data. Industry 5.0 comes in as a complement to that. It's a deliberate move to bring things back into balance by recognizing just how vital, how irreplaceable human interaction is within the industrial process. The core idea is getting humans and advanced machines working together harmoniously, aiming for like an unprecedented level of synergy, collaboration. It's actively trying to redraw the old manufacturing boundaries by pushing for close partnerships between people and tech.
Okay, so it's about bringing people back into the loop, but leveraging the tech, not just getting pushed out by it. And does that mean the basic goals of industry are changing too?
Absolutely. And this is maybe one of the biggest shifts. Previous industrial phases, mostly about maximizing economic value, profit. Industry 5.0 takes a much wider view of value. It explicitly talks about societal value, overall well-being. The emphasis is shifting to putting people and the planet before just optimizing profit margins. Look at the European Commission's vision, for instance. It highlights industry's role in contributing to society, making worker well-being central, pursuing prosperity beyond just jobs and GDP growth, all while respecting our planet's limits.
Wow, that sounds like a really fundamental rethink of what industry is even for. Why now? What were the limitations of Industry 4.0 that pushed this reevaluation?
Well, Industry 4.0 was incredibly successful at driving efficiency, right? Streamlining operations, creating these super productive connected systems. It nailed automation and connectivity. But the sources point out recent global shocks, especially the COVID-19 pandemic and the supply chain chaos, they really exposed a major weakness in that pure efficiency model. It lacked systemic robustness, adaptability. Ironically, by over-focusing on being lean, it actually made the whole system more brittle, more vulnerable when a real crisis hit.
So optimizing only for efficiency, without any slack or flexibility, actually made things fragile.
Precisely. And beyond that practical side, there's also just a growing global demand, a consensus really, that industries need to step up, take more responsibility for the environment, contribute more meaningfully to society, not just churn out economic output. And critically, from the human angle, that automation-heavy focus of 4.0, it often sidelined human workers, sometimes displaced them entirely, even though humans have these irreplaceable qualities: adaptability, understanding context, creativity, emotional intelligence, complex problem-solving. things machines just can't do.
So Industry 5.0 is like a conscious correction,
Yeah.
trying to build something more balanced, more sustainable.
That's exactly it. The reports describe it as a deliberate, almost necessary philosophical adjustment. It's about rebalancing that industrial equation by explicitly embedding human values, environmental responsibility, and systemic resilience right back into the core framework. It directly faces up to the downsides of a model that, yeah, was technologically advanced, but maybe prioritized efficiency and profit over human well-being, environmental health, and the ability to weather a storm. It really suggests a kind of maturing of industrial thought, recognizing that long-term sustainable prosperity is deeply linked with social cohesion and ecological health.
And this new vision is built on three key pillars. These sound pretty central to grasping Industry 5.0.
They absolutely are. The first one is people centricity. This puts human workers right at the heart of things. It acknowledges that human interaction is just indispensable for things like adapting on the fly, understanding nuance, making complex judgment calls, ensuring quality, driving innovation, solving messy problems. So instead of seeing advanced automation as just a way to cut labor costs, Industry 5.0 wants to leverage these unique human skills, emotional intelligence, creativity. The idea is for machines to be collaborative partners, tools designed to augment what humans can do, not replace them. The goal: create higher value, more meaningful jobs, genuinely empower workers, and fundamentally shift how we see people in industry from just resources to valuable assets. This approach is also expected to really boost job satisfaction, keep people around longer, because they get to do more stimulating, valuable work.
Right, so integrating tech in a way that elevates human work, makes it better, not eliminates it, was pillar number 2.
The second is resilience. This really emphasizes the need to design industrial systems that are flexible, responsive right from the start. They need to be able to adapt quickly when things change unexpectedly and stay stable even during a crisis. This involves developing capabilities like mass customization, being able to quickly reconfigure production lines to make highly specific individual products, with real agility. It's a definite move away from that fragility we saw that came from focusing too narrowly on just growth, profit, efficiency, which can actually reduce your capacity to handle shocks. It's about building systems robust enough to absorb disruption and keep going.
Building that flex capacity right into the system.
Got it.
And the third pillar.
The third is sustainability. And this is critical. It means deeply integrating environmentally responsible practices throughout everything industry does. Actively prioritizing renewables, minimizing waste, cutting energy use, lowering emissions. It has to be baked in. It's about fundamentally aligning economic interests with environmental responsibility, creating business models that can actually last in the long term. And the vision here goes beyond just doing less harm. It's about actively aiming for net positive impact. Practically, this shows up in things like designing for circular manufacturing, using predictive maintenance to make equipment last longer and waste less, developing sustainable supply chains, sustainable product designs, right from the beginning.
Okay. People centricity, resilience, and sustainability. Those three pillars really capture the core philosophy of Industry 5.0, moving way beyond just the tech specs of 4.0. But how does it relate back to Industry 4.0? Is 5.0 just replacing it?
That's a really crucial point the sources make sure to clarify. Industry 5.0 is absolutely not meant to just supersede or replace Industry 4.0. Instead, the idea is that it builds upon, it extends, and it complements the significant tech strengths and the foundations that were laid during the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Industry 4.0 gave us that essential technological groundwork: the automation, the advanced data exchange, the Internet of Things, early AI, big data analytics, cloud computing, all the stuff that made smart factories possible.
Right. So 4.0 built the digital pipes and the automation muscle.
Exactly. And Industry 5.0 leverages all that advanced tech. But, and this is the key difference, instead of stopping there, it reintroduces and strongly emphasizes the human, the environmental, the social dimensions. It uses the digital transformation from 4.0 to enable deeper, better collaboration between humans and robots. Cobots, they're often called, enhancing human creativity, enabling that mass customization we talked about, supporting sustainable production. It's really a progression that expands the goals of industry to include these broader objectives: resilience, human centricity, sustainability.
So companies that poured money into Industry 4.0 tech don't have to just scrap it all.
Not at all. The relationship is really synergistic, not disruptive. The language used consistently in the sources is things like 5.0 complements, develops, extends, or builds upon 4.0. Those existing investments in IoT, big data, AI for automation, They become the essential tools, the infrastructure that you use to achieve the broader, more holistic goals of Industry 5.0. That's more like a strategic reorientation of the tech capabilities you already have, pointing them towards human centricity, resilience, sustainability. It's affirming that all this tech progress should ultimately serve a deeper, more encompassing purpose.
That makes a lot of sense. Industry 4.0 gave us powerful new digital tools, and Industry 5.0 is like the framework telling us how to use those tools for a better, more balanced outcome. And absolutely central to using those tools, especially in this new way, is artificial intelligence. AI really seems like the foundational enabler for Industry 5.0, doesn't it?
It truly is. AI is consistently described as the fundamental backbone powering Industry 5.0. It's what allows machines to learn, to analyze really complex situations, make sophisticated decisions, sometimes autonomously, based on huge amounts of data, often in real time. That deep integration of AI is foundational because it's what lets machines move beyond just following programmed instructions. It lets them understand, learn from, and adapt alongside human operators in a genuinely collaborative way.
So AI isn't just automating tasks away, it's enabling machines to be like intelligent partners.
Precisely. And a really key distinction in Industry 5.0 thinking is that AI's main role is crucial for enhancing and augmenting human capabilities, rather than simply replacing them. That's vital. It allows human workers to focus on their unique strengths, emotional intelligence, understanding context, creativity, complex problem solving,
Yeah.
the stuff machines still can't replicate. Meanwhile, AI handles the really data-heavy, repetitive, or maybe even dangerous tasks.
This feels like a pretty significant shift from how AI was often framed just a few years back in the Industry 4.0 discussion, where job displacement was, frankly, a huge concern.
It absolutely is a conscious pivot. While Industry 4.0 definitely used AI, often primarily for automation and efficiency gains, which understandably raised those job displacement fears, Industry 5.0 explicitly redefines AI's purpose. It's fundamentally about AI augmenting human effort, not replacement. AI is deliberately positioned as a collaborative partner. It takes on the repetitive stuff, the data-intensive stuff, the hazardous stuff, tasks humans maybe shouldn't be doing anyway or don't need to. This frees up human workers to apply their creativity, their emotional intelligence, their complex problem-solving skills, their strategic thinking areas where human abilities are still absolutely paramount.
And this ties directly back to that idea of creating higher value jobs.
Exactly. This fundamental shift in perspective from a focus on replacement in some 4.0 contexts to augmentation and partnership in 5.0 is just vital for achieving those human-centric goals.
Hmm.
It's expected to lead to better jobs, allow for more personalized customer services, and boost job satisfaction and retention because people are doing more meaningful work. Ultimately, the sources argue the real sustainable value of AI in this new era gets unlocked through that synergistic human-AI interaction. It's not human or machine, it's human and machine working together better than either could alone.
Okay, so AI is the intelligent engine making this human-machine partnership work, helping industry hit those broader 5.0 goals. Human well-being, resilience, sustainability. What are some concrete examples? How is AI actually being used in Industry 5.0 right now?
Yeah, the sources give several key areas where AI is already making a difference. A great example is human-robot collaboration, often using those cobots. These are robots specifically designed with AI smarts to work safely and seamlessly right alongside human operators. Sharing the same workspace, no cages needed. AI lets them understand human movements, adapt if a task changes slightly, help out with heavy lifting, tricky assembly, or work in places that might be dangerous for people. They learn from feedback and boost both safety and productivity by complementing human skills.
That collaborative piece, the robot as a partner, not just a tool, seems key. What else?
Predictive maintenance is another really mature application area. AI algorithms analyze huge streams of data pouring in from sensors on machines and equipment. By spotting subtle patterns that signal something might be about to break, AI can predict failures before they actually happen. This lets companies schedule maintenance only when it's truly needed, which prevents costly downtime, makes expensive assets last longer, and cuts down on waste from replacing parts too early.
Stopping problems before they shut down the line. Smart.
Precisely. Then you've got AI's impact on additive manufacturing or 3D printing. AI gives this area a huge boost. It enables things like generative design, where AI algorithms can automatically create these incredibly optimized, often complex designs based on performance needs designs a human engineer might struggle to even imagine, or would take ages to develop. AI also monitors the printing process itself in real time, spotting errors, optimizing how material is laid down, ensuring quality control. This makes mass customization easier, reduces material waste, and dramatically speeds up product development.
So AI is kind of woven through all these different areas, always with that theme of boosting human capability, improving efficiency smartly, building resilience, supporting sustainability.
Exactly. It's like the intelligence layer that makes the human-centric, resilient, and sustainable future that Industry 5.0 envisions actually possible.
Now, the report zeroes in on a maybe real-world example of this Industry 5.0 transformation in action.
Yeah.
Healthcare, calling it Healthcare 2.0. Let's dive into that. What exactly is Healthcare 2.0?
Well, Health 2.0 is a term that actually popped up a bit earlier, around the mid-2000s. It basically reflected the broader tech shifts happening with Web 2.0. At its heart, it was about bringing things like social media, user-generated content, cloud computing, mobile health tech into the healthcare world. The fundamental goal was really about empowering patients, giving them more access to information, more control over their own health journey, and trying to kind of diminish that traditional, more paternalistic model of medicine.
Ah, so like Web 2.0 made the internet more participatory. Healthcare 2.0 aimed to make patients more active participants using tech.
That's the core idea. It emphasizes collaboration between patients, their families or caregivers, doctors, nurses, other professionals, everyone involved. It drew on ideas from things like open source software and user-generated content to try and create a more connected, participatory health environment. Key concepts included things like user-centered design, being really data-driven, both generating health data and presenting it clearly for decision-making, personalized search for health info, building online communities for people to share knowledge, and developing smart tools to help people manage their health info.
It sounds like using technology to make healthcare less of a top-down thing, doctor telling patient, and more of a team effort where patients are active players.
That's a great way to capture it. The definition is basically integrating health data and information with the patient's own experience, using information and communication technologies, ICT, explicitly enabling citizens to become active, responsible partners in managing their own health. Patients could research treatment options online, track their symptoms or outcomes using apps and share that data, stay informed about new research or trials, and generally take a much more proactive role in making decisions together with their doctors.
Okay, so how does this concept, which actually came before the whole Industry 5.0 conversation, line up with this newer idea?
It lines up incredibly well. You could almost see Healthcare 2.0 as a kind of philosophical forerunner for what Industry 5.0 is now talking about for all industries. Those core ideas of Healthcare 2.0, patient empowerment, participation, collaboration, they directly mirror Industry 5.0's foundational pillar of people centricity. Healthcare 2.0 was already using technology specifically to give individuals greater control, enabling them to be active and responsible partners in something as fundamental as their own health. It was designing tech with human well-being and autonomy front and center.
So the healthcare sector was kind of pioneering that human-first approach that Industry 5.0 is now championing more broadly, which makes it a really natural fit for AI to have a big impact within the 5.0 vision, right?
Exactly. Because healthcare already had that strong emphasis on human centricity, it was particularly fertile ground for integrating AI in a way that aligns perfectly with the broader Industry 5.0 goals.
And how is AI transforming healthcare delivery today under this combined umbrella of Healthcare 2.0 and Industry 5.0?
It's fundamentally changing the game, how diseases are diagnosed, how treatments are planned and managed, how care is delivered overall. Healthcare 2.0, in its current phase, really sees AI seamlessly integrated to drive significant measurable improvements. Better patient outcomes, tackling escalating costs, enhancing the quality, and importantly, the accessibility of care. And AI is proving critical in addressing some of the huge global challenges facing healthcare, like that projected shortage of 11 million health workers worldwide by 2030, or the fact that a staggering 4.5 billion people still lack access to essential healthcare services.
Wow, those numbers really underscore the immense pressure healthcare systems are under. How does AI actually help tackle challenges of that scale? What are the key impacts we're seeing?
There are several really profound impacts. First, and probably most important, improved patient outcomes. AI's ability to chew through massive data sets leads to much better diagnostic precision. It allows for earlier disease detection, often catching things much sooner than traditional methods. And it supports creating highly personalized treatment plans. All of this translates directly into better disease management, better survival rates, and more effective targeted help for patients.
Getting the right diagnosis fast and accurately really is ground zero for good outcomes.
It absolutely is. Second, AI drives increased efficiency and productivity within the healthcare system itself. By automating routine tasks, cutting down on the huge administrative burden, optimizing clinical workflows, AI frees up healthcare professionals. Doctors, nurses, specialists get more time to focus on complex patient care, direct human interaction where their unique skills are truly needed. This also helps save money by streamlining operations and reducing errors.
Less time drowning in paperwork, more time actually with the person needing care. That's huge.
Precisely. Third, AI enhances accessibility. AI-powered tools, things like better telehealth platforms, more sophisticated at-home diagnostic devices, they can make high-quality screening and even specialist expertise more accessible, especially for people in rural areas or underserved communities where specialists are hard to come by. It helps democratize access to medical knowledge.
Bringing specialist-level insights to more people wherever they are.
Right. Fourth, and this is really important too, it can help with reduced clinician burnout. The administrative load on healthcare workers is just immense. By taking over some of the paperwork, helping manage overflowing email inboxes, automating repetitive admin tasks, AI lets doctors and nurses spend more quality time in direct patient care, which is often why they went into medicine in the first place. This can make a real difference to staff morale and help keep experienced people in the workforce.
Which, again, is critical given that projected worker shortage you mentioned.
Absolutely critical. And finally, AI is dramatically accelerating drug discovery and development. AI can streamline the incredibly complex, slow, and expensive R&D process for new medicines. It can analyze biological data to quickly pinpoint potential drug candidates, predict how effective they might be, even predict side effects, and help optimize and speed up clinical trials. This can potentially slash the time it takes to get a new drug to market and the cost involved, getting life-saving treatments to patients much, much faster.
So AI isn't just making things better for individual patients, it's acting as a kind of systemic catalyst for making the whole healthcare system more sustainable and equitable.
That's a really key takeaway from the report. Think about the global pressures. Soaring costs, critical workforce shortages, huge gaps in access. These are massive interconnected problems. AI's ability to improve efficiency, reduce errors, optimize how resources are used, free up clinicians, it directly tackles these deep systemic challenges. And by making high-quality diagnostics, maybe even specialist advice, more accessible and affordable, AI really does have the potential to democratize healthcare, to benefit low-resource regions, marginalized groups, and contribute to greater equity. So the impact goes way beyond just improving care for one person. It influences the fundamental sustainability and resilience of healthcare delivery itself. This lines up perfectly with Industry 5.0's sustainability pillar and its goal of creating broader societal value. It strongly suggests AI isn't just another tool for doctors, it's becoming a strategic imperative if we want to build a more viable, equitable, and resilient global healthcare system for the future.
That paints a really compelling picture of AI's potential. Let's zoom in now specifically on disease diagnosis. The report highlights this as a major area where AI is having a transformative impact. How exactly is AI changing diagnostic workflows?
Well, it's fundamentally altering how diseases are detected and diagnosed. Its main contribution is significantly boosting the capabilities of doctors and nurses while also substantially cutting down the risk of errors. How? AI systems can process and interpret absolutely mind-boggling amounts of diverse medical data. We're talking medical images, X-rays, MRIs, CT scans, electronic health records, genetic data, even demographic info. And they can do this in seconds. That processing power is just way beyond human capacity.
So it can sift through vastly more information, way faster than any human possibly could.
Exactly. And because of that, AI can spot really subtle patterns, anomalies, correlations within that data that might be incredibly hard, maybe even impossible, for a human clinician to see, especially when they're dealing with high volumes of cases or really complex situations. This ability dramatically cuts the risk of misdiagnosis. Plus, by providing insights gleaned from this super fast analysis in real time, AI enables a more proactive approach. It allows for quicker, more timely interventions based on early findings. AI also automates a lot of the routine, time-consuming tasks for specialists, things like outlining specific areas on a medical image, taking precise measurements, or even drafting preliminary reports. This frees up those highly trained experts to focus on the really complex cases, do the higher-level interpretation, and spend more time interacting directly with patients.
The report uses this fascinating phrase AI as a cognitive extender and describes its capability as inhuman pattern recognition. What does that actually mean in practice?
That description really nails it, I think. It highlights AI's unique ability to spot those subtle patterns and process those massive data sets at speeds humans just can't match. It means AI isn't just automating simple stuff, it's acting as a powerful cognitive enhancement for healthcare professionals. By offering this inhuman pattern recognition, seeing things a human brain might miss in complex data, and providing access to this huge knowledge pool derived from analyzing millions of examples, AI complements human judgment. This is especially valuable in tricky cases, ambiguous situations where symptoms might overlap across different specialties, or where, let's be honest, human cognitive biases could unintentionally lead us down the wrong path.
So it's not replacing the doctor's intelligence, but equipping it with, like, superhuman data analysis and pattern spotting powers.
Precisely. It effectively redefines the clinician's role. They shift from being the sole interpreter trying to process everything manually to becoming a collaborative decision maker who leverages the AI's analytical power for greater precision and to cut down on diagnostic delays. This collaborative, dynamic human and machine working together, each bringing their unique strength that directly embodies the human-centric, collaborative spirit that's so central to Industry 5.0.
Let's dig into some specific, compelling examples and maybe some data from the report. Where is AI making the biggest, most quantifiable difference in medical diagnostics right now?
Advanced medical imaging analysis is probably one of the most mature and impactful areas. AI algorithms, particularly certain deep learning models like convolutional neural networks, CNNs, are really revolutionizing how images like X-rays, CT scans, MRIs, ultrasounds, even super detailed pathology slides are interpreted. They can detect abnormalities, tumors, fractures, lesions with remarkable accuracy.
And the report had some really striking numbers comparing AI performance to human radiologists, didn't it?
It did. For instance, when it came to spotting small lung nodules on scans, one AI system achieved 94% accuracy. That significantly outperformed experienced radiologists who managed 65% accuracy on the same task set. In breast cancer screening, AI systems have shown really impressive results. For detecting a breast mass, one AI showed 90% sensitivity compared to 78% for radiologists. For early breast cancer detection, another study showed 91% accuracy for AI versus 74% for radiologists. AI has also proven highly accurate in diagnosing melanoma, sometimes even outperforming experienced dermatologists. And another really compelling stat, an AI tool successfully detected 64% of brain lesions causing epilepsy that radiologists had actually missed on the initial review. AI models are also being used to classify prostate cancer risk based on MRI images, which could potentially reduce the need for invasive biopsies. And beyond just finding things, AI automates those tedious tasks like outlining areas, measuring things, drafting initial reports, and can even help prioritize urgent cases for the radiologist to review first.
Those numbers are pretty staggering. Finding lesions that were missed, significantly higher accuracy in key areas like cancer screening. What other applications are really powerful?
Natural language processing, NLP, is another huge one. So much crucial medical information is locked up in unstructured text doctor's notes, discharge summaries, patient histories. NLP acts like a bridge, translating this complex medical language into structured, usable data and insights. It can automate pulling out key information into summaries, convert spoken dictation into text, and enhance electronic health records by structuring all that free text data, making it searchable and analyzable.
So making sense of all the narratives, the story, in a patient's chart.
Exactly. Examples include the Medley system, which reached up to 99% specificity in spotting mentions of pneumonia in clinical notes. An NLP classifier showed 91% sensitivity in identifying invasive mold diseases just from reading radiology reports. More advanced models like GPT-4 have shown high accuracy in flagging conditions like catheter-associated UTIs from patient records. And it even extends beyond individual patient care into public health, like the Burr-Tweet model achieving 90% accuracy in detecting mentions related to Lyme disease outbreaks from social media data, helping track disease spread.
That's fascinating, applying it to public health surveillance like that. What about predicting health problems before they even show up?
Right, that's the realm of predictive analytics and early disease detection. AI models can analyze a whole constellation of data unique to one person, their genetic profile, lifestyle habits, medical history, maybe data from their smartwatch to assess their individual risk for certain diseases and forecast potential health issues before they become critical or even symptomatic. This is potentially transformative because it allows detection before clear symptoms appear. That means much earlier intervention and opens the door to truly preventative healthcare.
Shifting from treating sickness to actively keeping people well and stopping problems before they start.
Precisely. And the accuracy rates here are looking very promising too. AI algorithms detecting tumors based on predictive factors reached 94% accuracy in one study. Identifying stroke risk factors showed 87.6% accuracy. Predicting cardiac events hit 93% accuracy by analyzing ECG patterns alongside other patient data. Google Health's AI for diabetic retinopathy screening achieved 90% accuracy, showing huge potential for widespread screening programs. AI is also being used to spot early signs of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, picking up subtle changes in speech, eye movements, or imaging, often years before a clinical diagnosis would typically be made. A particularly striking example mentioned is AstraZeneca's AI model that can detect the likelihood of diseases like Alzheimer's, COPD, and kidney disease years before symptoms manifest, trained on data from 500,000 people.
Years before symptoms. That's genuinely game-changing for early intervention and potentially delaying or preventing devastating chronic diseases.
Yeah.
What about using AI for more personalized treatments?
AI is also making huge strides in genomics and precision medicine. It can rapidly process and analyze the enormous amount of data in an individual's genome. It identifies specific genetic variations that might influence how someone responds to a particular drug or their susceptibility to certain diseases. This is the foundation of precision medicine tailoring treatments to a patient's unique genetic makeup and clinical profile. The goal is better effectiveness, fewer side effects. AI helps optimize these personalized plans by integrating genetic data with medical history, lifestyle, everything else. In cancer care, for instance, AI-powered tools have achieved a remarkable 93% match rate with the treatment recommendations made by expert human tumor boards, specifically guiding personalized therapy based on the unique genetic mutations found in a patient's tumor. And beyond treatment planning, AI is significantly speeding up drug discovery, helping identify potential drug targets, predicting how effective new compounds might be, even generating novel drug molecule designs. It drastically cuts down the time and cost of that research.
So, looking across all these different applications, the overall effect is really a systemic shift in how we approach diagnosis and care.
Absolutely. The big picture here is a fundamental move away from a primarily reactive healthcare model. The model where we wait for symptoms, make a diagnosis, then treat the illness. AI is enabling a shift towards a much more proactive, preventive, and highly individualized approach. Its power in early detection, precise risk assessment, personalized treatment planning, it's fundamentally rewriting the whole patient journey. This isn't just making things incrementally better, it's a complete reimagining of healthcare delivery. Interventions can happen much earlier, they can be far more targeted, meticulously tailored to the individual. And this ties directly back to Industry 5.0's emphasis on things like personalized customer services, bespoke products. AI is translating those principles into potentially life-saving healthcare advances.
This report really emphasizes the data, and seeing the actual quantifiable benefits makes the impact so much clearer. Let's talk about those numbers, the enhanced accuracy, the speed, the efficiency gains AI is bringing.
Yeah, the data consistently shows AI offering superior performance in diagnostic accuracy and speed compared to traditional methods. And in many specific tasks, it's even outperforming human experts.
Let's just quickly revisit some of those accuracy stats because side by side, they are genuinely compelling.
They really are. Remember, AI hitting 94% accuracy for small lung nodules versus 65% for radiologists, breast cancer mass detection, 90% sensitivity for AI versus 78% for radiologists. Early breast cancer detection, 91% accuracy for AI versus 74% for radiologists. That AI tool finding 64% of epilepsy lesions previously missed by radiologists, that's huge. Predicting cardiac events from ECG data, 93% accuracy. Diabetic retinopathy screening, 90% accuracy. Across multiple cancer types, AI models hitting 94% accuracy in tumor detection from images. These aren't tiny improvements. They represent a massive leap in precision for these specific diagnostic tasks.
And it's not just accuracy, right? The speed and efficiency gains are equally important, often having measurable effects on workflow and cost.
Oh, the speed increases are dramatic. While a full diagnosis has many steps, AI can shrink the time for key analytical parts like processing a scan down to mere seconds. Analyzing a chest x-ray for 14 different conditions took about 90 seconds using the ChexNet AI model. In drug discovery, traditionally a 10-15-year marathon, AI assistants might cut identifying and optimizing leads down to months or even days. And hospitals are seeing real workflow benefits. HCA Healthcare, using AI, saved over 11,000 staff hours previously spent manually reviewing pathology reports. They also cut the time from a cancer diagnosis to the start of treatment by 6 days. AI automates those repetitive radiology tasks like segmentation and measurement, freeing up specialists. At Johns Hopkins, using AI to help manage patient messages cut the volume per doctor from over 1,300 down to under 960.
That's a huge drop in administrative load, directly hitting that clinician burnout issue.
It is. And the potential economic impacts are substantial too. Some estimates suggest treatment cost reductions of up to 50% through better diagnosis and personalized care. The Huma platform showed a 30% reduction in hospital readmissions using predictive AI. And looking bigger picture, potentially billions of dollars could be saved annually just in the U.S. healthcare system through earlier cancer detection alone, something AI significantly enhances.
So these numbers aren't just stats on a page. They represent real things.
Yeah.
Time saved, money saved, and crucially, lives saved through earlier, more accurate diagnoses and smoother care pathways. They really quantify the real-world impact.
They absolutely do. They take AI from being just an interesting research idea to a technology with proven, measurable value in the clinic.
And it's clear from the report that this isn't just theoretical or future-gazing anymore. AI is rapidly moving out of the lab and becoming operationally integrated into healthcare.
That's a critical point, yeah. AI in medical diagnostics isn't just happening in research labs or small pilot studies anymore. It's quickly becoming an embedded operational part of clinical workflows in hospitals and healthcare systems all over. This shift from limited trials to wider adoption signals that the technology is maturing and there's growing confidence in its tangible, repeatable, robust benefits for everyday medical practice. The report notes over 1,000 AI-containing products have already received authorization from the FDA in the U.S. That's a powerful indicator of broad industry investment and successful integration into the regulated healthcare space.
1,000 products. That number alone shows this is a major trend. Let's walk through some of the specific real-world examples and case studies mentioned in the report. They really bring this transition to life.
Okay, a leading example is the collaboration between Moorfields Eye Hospital in the UK and Google DeepMind. They developed an AI system that could identify over 50 different eye diseases from scans, with accuracy matching top eye specialists. What was particularly striking was that after training on nearly 15,000 scans, the AI could also predict the progression of a common condition called wet AMD, age-related macular degeneration, several visits before clear signs actually emerged on the scans.
Predicting disease progression that far ahead, that could totally change how we manage chronic eye diseases.
Exactly. Another powerful case is HCA Healthcare. Using an AI platform called Azra AI, they focused on streamlining their cancer care pathways. They managed to cut the average time from a cancer diagnosis to starting the first treatment by 6 days. That's significant. The AI also saved their clinical teams over 11,000 hours previously spent manually sifting through pathology reports, freeing up staff for patient navigation and coordinating care.
That's a direct hit on both speed of care and staff workload. Big impact.
It is. Then there's university hospitals partnering with ADOC. They use FDA-cleared AI algorithms that analyze CT scans basically in real time as they come off the scanner. The AI flags critical findings like potential brain bleeds or blood clots and automatically bumps those urgent cases to the top of the radiologist's reading list. This ensures critical scans get reviewed faster, allowing for quicker assessment and intervention in emergencies. It's real-time, AI-powered triage.
Making sure the most urgent cases get seen first, immediately.
Precisely. Researchers at Harvard Medical School and MIT developed AI specifically for radiology interpretation, achieving that impressive 94% accuracy on lung nodules we talked about. Their chief model for analyzing digital slides of tumor tissue also performed exceptionally well, hitting nearly 94% accuracy across 11 different types of cancer. That shows AI's potential across a wide range of cancer diagnostics.
High accuracy across many different cancer types is really significant.
And back to that predictive power, AstraZeneca developed an AI machine learning model capable of detecting the likely presence of diseases like Alzheimer's, COPD, and chronic kidney disease years before patients show symptoms. This model was trained on data from 500,000 people, demonstrating the power of AI when applied to these huge data sets.
That kind of foresight could just revolutionize how we manage chronic diseases.
It really could. The South Korean study we mentioned, showing 90% AI sensitivity versus 78% for radiologists in finding breast cancer with a mass, further reinforces AI's potential to exceed human performance in certain specific diagnostic tasks. And Google Health's AI model hitting 90% accuracy for diabetic retinopathy screening, that highlights the potential for rolling out widespread, efficient screening programs to tackle major public health problems, like preventable blindness from diabetes.
And Johns Hopkins Medicine seems to be exploring a whole range of applications, right? From aging diseases to automating notes and speeding up drug discovery.
They are, yeah. It illustrates just how broad the applications are becoming, well beyond just reading images. And the Tempus One AI product from Tempus Health is a great example of AI as an assistant. It helps doctors plan treatments by quickly pulling up relevant drug info, suggesting appropriate tests based on the patient's data. The report makes a point of emphasizing this is an augmented intelligence tool designed to support and enhance the clinician's decision-making, not take
Mm,
over.
That's a crucial distinction, right? Reinforcing that collaborative human-AI partnership that's core to Industry 5.0. These examples really show AI in healthcare isn't just theory anymore. It's delivering real benefits across different specialties right now.
Yeah, these aren't just isolated experiments. They represent a broad, accelerating trend where AI is actively boosting accuracy, improving efficiency, and genuinely transforming how care is delivered across many medical fields. It's moved firmly out of the lab and into widespread clinical use.
It's clear the potential is just immense, delivering tangible improvements, even saving lives. But with such powerful tech being integrated into something so critical, so personal as healthcare, there have to be significant complexities, right? Challenges we absolutely must navigate very carefully.
Absolutely. The report is very clear on this. While the potential is huge, getting AI implemented successfully and ethically in healthcare means tackling some major complexities. One of the most critical areas is data privacy, security, and consent.
Because AI needs massive amounts of super sensitive data to learn and function, doesn't it?
It does. AI systems thrive on accessing and analyzing vast quantities of deeply personal patient data, medical histories, genetic info, lifestyle details, even social factors affecting health. This very need introduces substantial risks. Data breaches, ransomware attacks targeting hospitals, and a particularly tricky issue, the potential for re-identifying individuals even from data sets that were supposedly anonymized.
Re-identification. I've had that's a major headache with large data sets now.
It's a profound challenge. Traditional ways of anonymizing data are proving increasingly insufficient against sophisticated AI techniques. A 2019 study highlighted in the report showed this starkly. AI was able to re-identify 99.98% of individuals in anonymized datasets using just 15 demographic details. That finding really undermines a lot of conventional privacy safeguards built around anonymization.
That's genuinely alarming. It seems like it makes getting truly informed consent from patients incredibly difficult.
It creates a significant ethical knot. Patients might not fully grasp the extent to which their sensitive health data or data derived from it could be used by complex AI or the lingering risk of being re-identified. This makes it extremely hard for providers and developers to obtain consent that is truly informed in a meaningful way. Plus, there's ongoing fuzziness about data ownership, especially when third parties, AI companies, data brokers get access to huge pools of patient data that raises complex legal and ethical questions.
And it sounds like the regulations haven't quite caught up to this technological reality yet.
Not completely. Existing rules like HIPAA in the US or GDPR in Europe mainly focus on protecting identifiable patient information. But AI often works best by analyzing massive amounts of data that might be anonymized or de-identified. The report suggests current regulations might not adequately cover the risks involved in using and combining these kinds of data sets, potentially leaving regulatory gaps.
So you have this fundamental tension. AI needs the data to work well, but patients have fundamental rights to privacy, security, control over their info.
It is a profound and ongoing conflict, yeah. The power and accuracy of AI in diagnosis and treatment are directly tied to the amount, diversity, and quality of data it can learn from. This need for massive amounts of data clashes directly with the ethical and legal duties to protect privacy, get meaningful consent, and clearly define data ownership. That re-identification problem is a perfect example of how fast tech advances can outrun our existing ethical norms and legal protections. This really implies that for AI to be integrated ethically and responsibly, we urgently need robust, forward-looking legal, technical, and ethical frameworks. Frameworks that somehow manage to prioritize patient rights while still enabling the data-driven progress AI offers. It's a critical balancing act if we want to realize Industry 5.0's people-centric goals in healthcare.
That makes total sense. Data is the fuel, but we have to be incredibly careful how we handle it. Now, what about algorithmic bias and fairness? We've seen AI reflect biases elsewhere. Is that a big worry in healthcare too?
It is a very significant concern, yes, and the report flags it as a critical challenge. How fair an AI is, the equity of its outcomes, is fundamentally tied to the quality and representativeness of the data it's trained on. If that training data is biased, incomplete, unrepresentative of the people the AI will eventually be used on, then the AI will learn and perpetuate those biases. This can lead to inaccurate results, disparities in care, and ultimately make existing inequities in healthcare even worse.
Yeah.
Bias can sneak in from lots of places: unconscious human biases in how data was collected or labeled originally, or the data generalizability problem, where certain groups may be based on race, gender, location, or just underrepresented in the training datasets.
Can you give some specific examples from the report of how this bias has actually shown up in healthcare AI?
Yeah, the report gives several concerning examples. For instance, a widely used score for predicting cardiovascular risk was found to be significantly less accurate for African American patients. Why? Largely because something like 80% of its training data came from Caucasian individuals. In an even more shocking case, an AI system used by hospitals to identify patients who might benefit most from extra care management programs used predicted future healthcare costs as a stand-in for how sick someone was. But because of systemic issues, historical data showed Black patients tended to incur lower healthcare costs than white patients who were equally sick. The AI learned this pattern and wrongly concluded Black patients were healthier. This led to them getting lower priority for potentially life-saving interventions with possibly fatal results. Skin cancer detection algorithms, often trained mainly on images of light skin, have shown lower accuracy when used on people with darker skin tones.
That's deeply disturbing. It shows how AI doesn't just passively mirror existing biases, it can actively amplify them and turn them into real-world health disparities with serious consequences.
Exactly. Gender disparities have also cropped up. Chest X-ray algorithms trained mostly on male patient data were less accurate for females. Heart attack diagnoses have sometimes been missed in women by algorithms implicitly biased by the data they learned from. If we're not incredibly careful, AI has the power to amplify these deep-rooted societal biases, leading to misdiagnoses and further entrenching inequality for marginalized groups. That example of the AI prioritizing white patients because of spending patterns really shows how seemingly objective algorithms can worsen systemic discrimination, potentially leading to tragic outcomes. And that directly contradicts Industry 5.0's core ideas of people centricity and social benefit. This understanding means ethical considerations, fairness, equity must be embedded at every single stage of AI development, data collection, algorithm design, deployment, ongoing monitoring. We have to actively prevent AI from making disparities worse. There's a profound responsibility here to ensure AI is a force for good, pushing towards justice and equity.
Okay, so data privacy and bias are huge challenges baked into the data itself. What about the regulatory side? Healthcare is already so heavily regulated. How does dynamic learning AI fit into often static regulatory frameworks?
That's a significant challenge, too. Healthcare is, as you say, highly regulated, and AI's dynamic, constantly evolving nature throws up unique problems for traditional regulatory approval processes, which tend to be more static. One key issue is something called algorithmic drift. AI systems learn and update as they see new data. This means their internal logic and their outputs can subtly change over time. This makes it really difficult for regulators to guarantee consistent safety and effectiveness long after the initial approval. The AI's behavior can literally shift while it's being used.
It's like trying to regulate a moving target, something that's constantly changing itself.
Exactly. Another big challenge is the black box problem with many advanced AI models, especially deep learning. Their internal decision-making processes are often opaque, really hard to decipher. This makes it difficult, sometimes impossible, for clinicians or regulators to fully understand how the AI reached a specific diagnosis or recommendation. That lack of explainability really hinders trust and makes it tough for doctors to justify AI-driven decisions to patients or colleagues.
Right. If a doctor can't explain why the AI suggested something, how can they confidently act on it or explain it to a patient?
Precisely. And then there's just the sheer pace of change. AI technology is developing so fast, it often outruns the ability of regulatory bodies to research, create, and update guidelines and frameworks. It feels like they're constantly playing catch-up.
But Are regulators starting to adapt? Are they finding ways to deal with this dynamic nature of AI?
Yes, they are making progress. They recognize the unique challenge. Bodies like the FDA in the US are actively refining their approach, developing more dynamic frameworks specifically for AI enabled medical devices. This includes emphasizing the need for really robust validation methods that can show the algorithm remains consistent and reliable even as it learns and refines itself. There's a growing focus on transparency, pushing developers for clear documentation on how AI decisions are made. They're also pushing hard on bias mitigation, demanding more balanced and representative training data. Crucially, the FDA has started embracing concepts like predetermined change control plans. These basically allow developers to get pre-approval for certain types of safe and effective updates to an AI algorithm after it's on the market, acknowledging that it will learn and adapt. The fact that over 1,000 AI-containing products have already gotten FDA authorization shows they're proactively trying to integrate this tech safely. And new reporting guidelines like Tripod AI and Consort AI are emerging to standardize how AI medical research is reported, boosting transparency there too.
So the regulatory race is definitely on to keep pace with the tech. Governing a system that's designed to evolve sounds incredibly complex.
It is. AI can continuously refine its outputs based on new data that's algorithmic drift. That fundamentally clashes with traditional static approval frameworks where you approve a fixed product. Regulators aren't just approving a static tool anymore, they're trying to govern an evolving system. This demands new dynamic paradigms, life cycle monitoring, those change control plans. The whole regulatory landscape has to become as agile and adaptive as the technology itself. It requires constant dialogue between policymakers, developers, clinicians, ethicists, everyone to ensure safety and effectiveness without completely stifling innovation. It's a really novel and complex governance challenge for the Industry 5.0 era.
Okay, beyond regulation, what about the practical hurdles, like actually getting AI to work with existing hospital systems? Many hospitals have complex, maybe older IT setups.
This is a huge practical challenge, absolutely. Hospitals and healthcare organizations often rely on legacy IT systems that just weren't built with modern AI integration in mind. AI, as we said, needs vast amounts of structured, high-quality, easily accessible data. But hospital data is often stuck in silos, different departments, different systems. It's frequently stored in unstructured formats like free text notes, or it's incomplete. Just preparing and standardizing all that data so an AI can use it is incredibly time-consuming and expensive. Many hospitals still use older electronic health record (EHR) systems that lack standardized formats or the ability to easily share data with other systems. This lack of interoperability is a massive barrier, stopping AI systems from getting a comprehensive view of a patient's information across different sources.
It sounds like there's a major digital divide within healthcare itself that could really slow down AI adoption across the board.
There definitely is. While AI promises these revolutionary breakthroughs, getting it implemented effectively and widely is significantly hampered by these existing legacy systems and siloed, unstructured, or incomplete data problems. It creates a real gap between the theoretical capability of advanced AI and the practical reality limited by current infrastructure. The report also notes that for many places, especially smaller hospitals or clinics, the challenge isn't even just AI. It's successfully unlocking basic Industry 4.0 tech because of knowledge gaps, limited resources, or just uncertainty about the benefits and how to implement foundational digital tools. This highlights that the integration challenge isn't purely technical, it's also economic and strategic.
So significant upfront investment in data infrastructure standardization, that's really a prerequisite to unlock AI's potential.
Absolutely. Strategic, significant upfront investment in getting the data house in order, data readiness, standardization, building robust interoperability is crucial. Without tackling these foundational infrastructure gaps, the full promise of AI in transforming Industry 5.0 healthcare will stay constrained, limiting its ability to deliver those widespread benefits across the whole system.
Okay, finally, maybe one of the most fundamental challenges,
Mm-hmm.
building trust and ensuring effective human-AI collaboration. If doctors and patients don't trust the AI, it doesn't matter how good the tech is, it won't get used effectively.
Trust is arguably the ultimate gatekeeper for successful AI adoption in healthcare. The report really stresses this. Despite how technically brilliant an AI system might be, its success absolutely hinges on getting active engagement and building trust from the clinicians who need to use it and from the patients whose care it will affect. Many clinicians understandably express skepticism. They worry about AI's accuracy in really complex cases. They have concerns about accountability if an AI makes a mistake. broader ethical worries. And yes, there are fears about job displacement, concerns that AI could undermine their professional autonomy or diminish that essential human connection in patient care.
And that black box problem we talked about, where it's hard to see how the AI reached its conclusion, that must make building trust even harder.
It absolutely does. The opacity of many algorithms makes their reasoning invisible. If clinicians can't understand how a decision or recommendation was generated, it significantly hinders their ability to trust the tool, and it makes it incredibly difficult for them to explain AI-driven decisions to patients, which is a fundamental part of building patient trust and shared decision-making.
So what are the solutions? How does the report suggest we build that essential trust and make sure humans and AI can actually work together effectively?
The report points to several key strategies. Education and training are absolutely essential. We need comprehensive programs for healthcare professionals that clearly explain how AI is meant to complement their judgment, not replace it, and show how it can actually reduce their workload, freeing them up. Providing tangible, evidence-based examples of AI's benefits in real clinical settings is crucial to overcome skepticism. Actively involving healthcare professionals in the design and testing phases of AI tools is also vital. This helps ensure the tools actually meet their practical needs, are user-friendly, and it builds confidence and buy-in right from the start. Prioritizing transparency and explainability in AI design is paramount. Wherever possible, AI systems should be designed to articulate their reasoning, or at least highlight the key data points they relied on and indicate their level of confidence or uncertainty. This allows for informed human oversight.
And framing AI explicitly as an assistant, not the boss.
Yes, that's a key psychological shift. Emphasizing AI's role as a powerful assistant or collaborative partner, rather than some infallible authority, is crucial. AI tools should be designed to provide decision support, maybe flag potential errors or inconsistencies in data, suggest alternative possibilities, summarize complex histories, thereby prompting physicians to reconsider, double-check, or deepen their understanding, complementing their own thinking and judgment.
So the whole approach needs to be profoundly human-centered in how these tools are designed and rolled out, even though we're talking about incredibly advanced tech.
Exactly. Technical brilliance isn't enough. A deep focus on the human factors, transparency, explainability, education, training involving professionals in the design is paramount. This human-centered design approach is absolutely essential to build confidence, ensure ethical use, and ultimately realize that collaborative potential that Industry 5.0 envisions for healthcare.
Looking ahead now, what's on the horizon? What's next for AI-powered diagnostics and healthcare? The report mentioned AI converging with sophisticated simulation and cyber-physical systems.
Yeah, the future of AI in healthcare diagnostics looks set for really exponential growth. And it's moving beyond just analyzing data and spotting patterns. This next wave seems to involve a deeper convergence of AI with other sophisticated technologies, especially ones that bridge the digital and physical worlds. This could enable things like virtual experimentation, highly personalized simulations for unprecedented precision in care.
Can you give us a glimpse of some of these emerging technologies the report points to? What does that convergence look like?
One of the most exciting concepts discussed is digital twins in healthcare. Imagine creating highly sophisticated virtual simulated models of an individual patient's specific tumor or their organ system, maybe even their whole physiology. These aren't static models. They're continuously updated with real-world data streams from the actual patient scans, lab results, data from wearables. And crucially, you can use these digital twins to simulate treatment responses virtually.
Whoa. So simulate how a specific chemotherapy or radiation plan might affect this specific patient's tumor before you even give the first dose.
Precisely. You could test different drugs, different dosages, different sequences of treatments in the virtual twin to predict the likely outcome and guide medical decisions with a level of precision for that individual we've never had before. This also offers a powerful new way to help patients and families understand treatment options. They can visualize potential pathways. And digital twins hold huge promise for speeding up drug discovery, too, by simulating interactions in virtual patients, and even for optimizing hospital workflows by simulating patient flow or resource needs.
That sounds like a massive leap beyond just analyzing past data. It's creating a dynamic, personalized virtual lab for planning treatment. What else is coming down the pike?
We can expect to see more sophisticated self-learning systems. Future AI in healthcare won't just be trained once. It will learn continuously from new patient data, clinical outcomes, autonomously improving its accuracy, adapting to new patterns of disease or treatment response. This inherent adaptability will keep them valuable and relevant over the long term without constant manual retraining. Quantum AI, QAI, is also on the horizon. Leveraging the potentially immense power of quantum computers, QAI algorithms could, in theory, analyze absolutely vast medical data sets in real time. This could enable significantly more accurate, more efficient diagnoses and accelerate the development of complex diagnostic models at speeds currently unimaginable.
Quantum computing applied to healthcare data. That sounds incredibly powerful for tackling complex biological information.
It does. Other emerging ideas include ambient invisible intelligence, AII. This involves using low-cost tracking and sensing tech think things initially developed for smart factories but applying them in hospitals. For sophisticated tracking of assets, monitoring medical equipment location and status, maybe even passively monitoring patient environments to improve efficiency and safety. Polyfunctional robots, flexible robots capable of doing multiple different tasks in a clinical setting, could enhance human-machine interactions, really embodying that 5.0 collaboration idea within hospital walls.
So maybe robots doing more than just delivering supplies, perhaps assisting more directly in patient areas, collaboratively.
Potentially, yes, in that collaborative capacity. Generative AI, which we're already seeing explode beyond just text into creating images, video, even synthetic data, is likely to play a growing role. In medical research, maybe helping with systematic literature reviews. In personalized treatment, perhaps generating novel insights or data based on existing patient info. And AI will continue making augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR systems smarter, more intuitive, more adaptive. Enhancing medical training with ultra-realistic simulations, streamlining complex maintenance on medical gear, enabling better remote support for diagnostics, or even surgeries by overlaying digital info onto the real world or creating immersive virtual environments.
This convergence of AI with all these other technologies, digital twins, quantum robotics, AR, VR, it really does sound like a profound shift, blurring the lines between the digital and physical worlds within healthcare.
It really is. AI's evolution here isn't just about better algorithms for reading scans anymore. It's about how AI merges with technologies that fundamentally bridge digital and physical realms. Digital twins exemplify that leap from analyzing past data to doing dynamic virtual experimentation and simulation. Polyfunctional robots, AI-enhanced AR/VR, they suggest AI systems becoming interactive, physical, simulated partners. This really deepens that human-machine symbiosis that Industry 5.0 envisions, enabling a more holistic, predictive, and deeply personalized approach to patient care.
So stepping back, what's the projected long-term impact of all these advancements, this convergence, on actual patient outcomes and healthcare systems globally?
The long-term potential is honestly nothing short of revolutionary for global healthcare. We're potentially looking at significantly improved patient outcomes, better survival rates for many conditions, and a fundamental reshaping of how healthcare is delivered, making it more effective, more accessible, and more sustainable.
What are the key long-term impacts we should really anticipate from this whole AI-driven transformation?
Okay, firstly, a major, probably irreversible shift to proactive and preventive care. With AI enabling continuous monitoring, better risk assessment, detecting diseases years before symptoms, healthcare can fundamentally shift focus. From being mainly reactive treating illness after it happens to being truly proactive and preventative, focused on maintaining wellness, intervening at the earliest possible moment.
Catching things when they're much easier, cheaper, and less painful to treat,
Yeah.
or preventing them altogether.
Exactly. Secondly, we'll likely see highly personalized and real-time treatment. The future points towards incredibly individualized dynamic treatment plans. Plans continuously adapted based on real-time data streams from the patient, their full genomic profile, their changing lifestyle, how they're responding to treatment as monitored by things like digital twins.
Truly tailored care, not just based on averages, but on you right now.
Right. Thirdly, AI holds massive potential for the democratization of healthcare expertise. AI systems that can perform highly accurate diagnostics, interpret complex scans, provide treatment guidance that can scale medical expertise, make high-quality tools more accessible, especially in regions with few specialists or limited infrastructure. This can help bridge huge access gaps, bringing advanced diagnostics to underserved populations globally.
That could be absolutely enormous for tackling healthcare inequality worldwide.
It absolutely could be. Fourthly, continued AI adoption should lead to increased efficiency and cost savings across the board, streamlined workflows, automated tasks, reduced errors, fewer hospital readmissions. Fifthly, by taking a chunk of that administrative burden off healthcare professionals and providing valuable decision support, AI can genuinely help alleviate clinician burnout. freeing up doctors and nurses for direct patient care, improving job satisfaction, helping retain skilled staff. And finally, AI will continue to accelerate medical innovation, getting new life-saving treatments and therapies developed and approved faster, potentially more cost-effectively, by streamlining that complex R&D pipeline.
So AI isn't just a collection of cool new tools, it's acting as this powerful catalyst for building a fundamentally more equitable, efficient, and sustainable global healthcare system, which aligns perfectly with those higher goals of Industry 5.0.
That's the core argument, yes. By democratizing expertise and access, especially for low-resource areas, it directly tackles inequity. By boosting efficiency, cutting costs, easing worker burden, it significantly contributes to the system's sustainability and resilience. This aligns perfectly with Industry 5.0's vision of creating societal value, genuinely making the world a better place. The implication is clear. AI in healthcare isn't just a clinical gadget. It's becoming a strategic imperative if we want to build a more robust, accessible, equitable, and sustainable global health infrastructure. It
Yes.
truly embodies some of the highest aspirations of this fifth industrial revolution.
This is incredibly compelling stuff, but to actually realize all this immense potential, especially given those significant challenges we talked through, what are the strategic recommendations? What does the report say we need to do to get there?
Yeah, the report outlines several key imperatives, actions needed to turn this potential into reality. Firstly, we absolutely must foster interdisciplinary collaboration. This means promoting constant dialogue, real partnerships between everyone involved. The clinicians using the tools, the AI developers building them, the policymakers regulating them, the ethicists guiding responsible use, and, critically, patients themselves. This is the only way to ensure solutions are technically advanced, clinically useful, ethically sound, and socially acceptable.
Getting everyone in the same room, talking and working together from day one, step
Right.
one.
Exactly. Secondly, we have to invest heavily in data infrastructure and standardization. This means prioritizing robust data management, ensuring high data quality, implementing strong de-identification methods that actually hold up against AI, and establishing widespread interoperability standards so different systems can talk to each other. This is crucial to overcome those legacy system and fragmented data problems.
Right, tackling that fundamental digital divide within healthcare first.
Precisely. Thirdly, we must prioritize ethical AI development. Development needs to be guided by strong ethical principles right from the start. This demands rigorous testing and validation for accuracy, reliability, and where feasible, transparency and explainability. Using diverse representative training data sets and involving multidisciplinary teams are critical steps to actively mitigate bias and ensure equitable outcomes for everyone.
Ethics can't be bolted on later. It has to be baked into the foundation of the tech.
Absolutely. Fourthly, we need to continue to develop adaptive regulatory frameworks. Policymakers have to keep refining dynamic approaches that can handle AI's learning and adaptation. Things like lifecycle monitoring, those predetermined change control plans we discussed, allowing for safe updates after approval. Regulators need to be as agile as the tech.
Keeping pace with the evolution, yeah.
Fifthly, a significant investment is needed in education and training. We need comprehensive programs for healthcare professionals to build their comfort, their proficiency, their trust in using AI tools. These programs have to emphasize AI's role in augmenting, not replacing, human skills and foster that collaborative mindset.
Making sure the workforce is ready and feels comfortable working alongside these new AI partners.
Yes. Sixthly, the recommendation is generally to start small, scale strategically. To manage risk and demonstrate value, healthcare organizations should probably begin with focused pilot projects for specific AI applications. Test them thoroughly in controlled settings, build confidence based on proven, measurable benefits before trying to roll them out across the entire organization.
Prove the concept, show the ROI, build trust incrementally.
And finally, perhaps most centrally to the whole Industry 5.0 vision, is to focus explicitly on human-AI synergy. AI tools should be designed primarily to empower human workers. By effectively taking over the repetitive, data-heavy, or hazardous tasks, AI should free up healthcare professionals to focus more on empathy, creativity, emotional intelligence, complex clinical judgment, the uniquely human parts of care. This collaborative design is key to boosting job satisfaction and keeping skilled people in the field.
That really brings it full circle back to that core principle of Industry 5.0, putting people, both the patient and the caregiver, right at the center of this technological revolution.
It does. These strategic steps are seen as essential pathways to make sure that all the incredible technical potential we've discussed actually translates into real-world benefits, ethically, equitably, and effectively aligning technology with a more human-centric future.
So to quickly recap this deep dive then, we've explored how Industry 5.0 signals this profound shift in industry's purpose, moving beyond just efficiency and profit towards a future focused on human well-being, resilience, sustainability. We saw how AI isn't just a tool, but really the fundamental engine enabling this vision, shifting from being seen as replacement to being an essential partner, augmenting human workers. Then we dove deep into Healthcare 2.0 as a prime example of Industry 5.0 in action. We saw how AI is dramatically impacting disease diagnosis and care delivery, bringing incredible speed and accuracy, enabling this powerful shift towards proactive, personalized care, all backed by some really compelling data and real-world examples.
And importantly, we didn't gloss over the complexities, the critical issues around data privacy, security, that alarming re-identification risk, the vital need to tackle algorithmic bias, ensure fairness and equity, the challenge of creating adaptive regulations, the practical hurdles of integration, and fundamentally the absolute necessity of building trust and effective human-AI collaboration through transparency, education, human-centered design, really emphasizing AI as a powerful assistant.
And we look ahead, seeing how emerging tech like digital twins, quantum AI, ambient intelligence, all converging with AI, promise even greater precision, personalization, efficiency, holding the potential to truly reshape global healthcare towards being more equitable, accessible, and sustainable.
Yeah, this AI-powered transformation in healthcare isn't just some isolated tech trend. It's a key component, a powerful demonstration of Industry 5.0's much bigger vision for a more human-centric, resilient, sustainable future across all industries. It really is about intentionally using technology to improve lives and tackle some of our biggest global challenges.
It really is. And as we wrap up, it kind of leaves us with this powerful, maybe provocative thought stemming directly from the insights in this report. With all this incredible power, AI is demonstrating hitting accuracy levels beyond human experts, detecting diseases years before symptoms, creating virtual twins to test treatments. How do we, all of us, society, developers, clinicians, patients, ensure these advancements are actually developed and deployed in a way that truly serves the well-being of all of humanity? How do we make sure we uphold those core Industry 5.0's principles, focusing on people, equity, planetary health, rather than just letting the raw drive for efficiency or profit dictate the path forward?
What questions does this raise for you about the future of healthcare, the future of your work, and the kind of world we're actively building right now with these incredibly powerful new tools?